My garage wall clock started making a horrible noise and wasn't keeping track of time, and you can see this gear here is the motor driven gear, and the motor works perfect. Anyway, all these gears were really dirty and cruddy, and some of them you couldn't even see the teeth. This thing was getting to where it was making this loud noise, and like I say, it was losing about 5 minutes a day. So anyway, I took it apart, cleaned all the gears, cleaned all the shafts. I'm going to clean the face because, you know, I had to totally 100% disassemble the clock. You know, the hands are over here. Some little bits and pieces here. Yeah, the hands thread on, the second hand threads on. You can see it's even balanced. But anyway, I got this all back to where I think it'll work, so I'm going to put this back on. These are the little doodads that hold this clock back on, and this part here. I mean, it was just totally black, so I'm just cleaning it up. You can see I just put a little bit of WD-40 on that bearing in there, but I'm going to wipe all the excess off. I don't want dirt back in there. All right, let me get back to cleaning this thing, putting it together, and seeing if we can make it work. There we go. I just kind of haphazardly threw it together, just plugged it in to see if it works, and it does. So let me put this cover back on, and hopefully the clock keeps time when I'm done. I cleaned everything here with brake clean, really good. I think the teeth, that one gear that runs on that motor gear, I think it had some crud in it. That gear was the dirtiest of them all, and I think it was just jamming between that little gear and the big gear when that crud would come around. So I cleaned all the gears, everything with brake clean, so everything's spotless. All right, let me throw it back together, and we'll hang it back on the wall and see if it works. You can see it's running now, and it's dead silent. I can feel a second hand thing turning. So I think we're all good. I think we'll put there's a little plastic lens thing that goes in there that I'll put in. Keeps the dirt out, and then I'll put it back together, and hopefully that takes care of it. Got all the hands lined up, the face cleaned. Seems to work. Makes a little noise laying down, but when it's standing up, it doesn't make any noise. But anyway, there we go. Let me put it together. I cleaned the glass on the inside. I cleaned the face, cleaned the hands. That thread's on. It's got a left-hand thread. Yeah, that's kind of a tiny little thing to thread on with that long thing. But anyway, let me just throw it the rest of the way back together here. So I was just putting all the clips back in. They just go in like so. There was 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then like this. So basically the clock is together. I got to find the little plastic piece that went in there. I dropped it on the floor, so let me hunt that up, and then we'll hang the clock back up and set the time. There we go. It is all cleaned up. It's working. It keeps time now. This is the next day, and it's spot on correct. I think let me see. Hang on a second, and I'll put my phone up here. There, you can see a little, maybe you can see a little second hand, maybe you can't, and on the clock. So on that, it's about 5 seconds slow, but I could have plugged it in 5 seconds after. So I had it unplugged and set to the time yesterday, and when that second hand hit the 12, I had stopped the clock on the 12, the second hand. So when I started it, it would be exactly right. And it's might have been, I didn't check it after I plugged it in, but yeah, 5 seconds, whoop-de-doo. But like I say, it could have been the pause from when I saw it on my phone clock to when I got the plug in the outlet. Anyway, we got a quiet, good running clock. I bought that clock in a at the Gibraltar Trade Center in the outside flea market about 25 years ago for $2, and it was nasty. You couldn't even see the numbers of the front of the glass was so covered in dirt and paint overspray and stuff, literally could not read the dial. And this was like brush painted brown. It was just hideous, and it slapped onto the glass. But I thought it was just such a neat clock, and I know Stromberg makes good clocks. So I bought it, took it all apart, cleaned it, cleaned the glass, cleaned the face, cleaned the hands, repainted the bezel. I had a antique Cayley outboard, and that was the paint I had mixed to match the gas tanks and the painted parts on them. And it's kind of a raspberry red I decided to paint it in. It was originally kind of a tan, and then they brush painted it a brown over it, but I didn't like either. It was a crinkle paint tan, and I didn't like the finish, so that's why it's red now. All right, now that I've yapped over my clock uselessly, I got a few things I'm going to make some videos on. So I got some chainsaws there I gotta go through. I was going to put them out to the curb and let whoever want to take them, but I have carb kits and I have everything to get them in good running order, so I figured I would yeah, there's the carb kit, all the parts right there, in with the saw. There. New air filter, carb kit, that's all this thing needs. You can see I got the little carburetor cover off it somewhere in here. And so we'll get this saw going, and I got the one in the plastic case, that one runs. That was my main saw when I cut a bunch of trees down in Savannah with that saw. I've had that saw a long time, but I bought a Ego, 18-inch Ego, and I'll tell you what, I love it. The battery will outlast a tank of gas in that, and I have a few batteries. This is the other saw right here that I got, and I got all the parts for this too, the carb kit, and I'll sharpen the chains, and this is a whole light also. So I bought these in estate sales with the intentions of, getting them running and selling them. And I also have this if anyone needs one. I think it's a 86 Ford manual trans front cable is what that says. I think it's if you have cruise control. But anyway, there's the part number. If somebody needs that, has to have one, let me know. I'm going to rebuild this carburetor, and I got another video going here of getting that. I'm waiting on rivets for the pan, and I was going to put a rebuilt carb on it and sell it. So that'll be in a future video too. Other than that, yeah, just today getting the clock back to operating properly. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. If you liked the video and enjoyed seeing the innards of a clock running, why it was apart, hit the like button. If you like my channel, that 348 engine icon that powers that will subscribe you, and thank you for watching my videos.